Good afternoon, Mr. Wick.
Carl, my good man. Good afternoon.
What's next?
It's funny that you asked that. Got a date night tonight with a beautiful woman. She told me that if I want to end the night off right, I need to bring something robust and precise.
Robust. Precise.
What's good, YouTube, man? Thank y'all for tuning into I Am Fresh. And we are back at it again with another video. And to my Fresh fan, man, thank y'all so much for always tuning in with your boy. Now, let's jump into what today's video is going to be about. Today's video is the semi-auto showdown, man. Listen, I got two budget semi-auto shotguns, but they're in two different platforms, man. I really love them both. I'm really torn on which one I like more than the other, so I had to settle that debate to take them both out to get the pros and cons on each one, so I can kind of narrow down on which one I would prefer over the other. Now, this is just an opinionated thing. This is my opinion here. If you were interested in getting a semi-auto shotgun and you were kind of torn on which platform to go with, hopefully this video will help you decide and make your decision up as well too. Or if not, man, you could just buy both. You dig?
Yeah, boy.
All right, Fresh fan, now that we got these budget beasts laid out on the table, man, let's get into my pros and cons on each platform. But before we do that, let's give a proper introduction on what we're using for this versus or this comparison, if you will, okay? So we have my Black Aces Pro Series S Max semi-auto 12 gauge right here up top. Down at the bottom, I have my JTS M12 AK 12 gauge shotgun. As you can see, one is a tube fed, one is a mag fed. This is an AK platform. And then you have your traditional semi-auto shotgun here, okay?
Screw it, let's let him do it.
Now that we got that out the way, let's start with up top, this Pro Series S Max here, man. I love it. Honestly, I don't have many cons as I do pros to it, okay? So let's get into the pros of this shotgun here, all right? Pros of this shotgun is, number one, the trigger pull. The trigger pull is absolutely crazy on this shotgun. As you can see, it's already sitting to the back on a dead trigger, so you already know when this thing is actually hot, the weight of your finger is setting this thing off, man. So what that allows is rapid succession, super quick follow-up shots. You're able to really throw some lead down range
quickly, expeditiously
with this thing, man. I love it. It almost reminds me of one of them competition style shotguns, okay? This is a super budget friendly shotgun as well too, so if you're in any type of competition shooting, I wouldn't think this thing would be too bad. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the price on an entry level, all right? Boom. So that's number one. Number one is the trigger, okay? Pro number two is going to be the weight of this thing. I love the weight of it. This thing is very light, so it doesn't cause a lot of fatigue on the arms, especially when this thing is fully loaded. You're already managing recoil and things of that nature, and sometimes you can deal with a lot of fatigue just holding this beast up. And this thing is light, man. I mean, honestly, I think I can hold this thing up all day, man. Even with keeping the barrel down range and in the fight and doing like a tactical reload, you don't feel that you need a break, man. This thing is really, really, really light, surprisingly light, to be honest with you, okay? So that's pro number two. Let's get into pro number three. Pro number three is I really like the accuracy of this thing, and I think because going into that low profile fiber optic sight right there, literally exactly where I lay the barrel is exactly where those shots is going to go. So I like the precision of this thing, and each shot I can literally lay them on top of each other with proper recoil management. I can literally lay the shots on top of each other. All right, so that's all of my pros with this thing. Let's get into the negatives, okay? Con number one, which was also supported by one of my pros. Con number one is going to be the weight of the shotgun, okay? I say that because if the shotgun is light, well, then you know shooting that 12 gauge round, the more recoil you're going to feel. Typically with a more heavier platform, it helps manage some of that recoil. Well, because this thing is so light, you're really having to manage just about all of the recoil, okay? So the weight of it can be a pro and a con, and that's why I made both lists, okay? So we're gonna say the weight is also a con because dealing with the recoil, all right? So I guess that can be also con number 2 is the recoil. This thing really has a lot of kick if you don't know what you're doing. Con number 2/3, I guess, if you will, is going to be the feed, the feeding the tube, loading the tube. Inside these lips are subject to cutting your finger, man. So you're gonna have to run this thing with some gloves, and also too, it's sometimes it can get difficult clearing that feed lip right there to slide shells inside the tube. All right, so it's going to take you longer because you're going to have to make sure that you're adequately placing that shell in the proper positioning so you can slide it in the tube. And mind you, that's 1 by 1 unless you're competition ready. You know how to quad load and double load and things of that nature, but I don't, and I don't think this thing is set up for it anyway. All right, y'all, so that's going to be another con, is actually loading this thing. Can be a hindrance, if you will, in like maybe a combat situation or a high stress situation, okay? All right, so let's get into my JTS M12 AK 12 gauge, all right? This thing is an absolute monster. Let's get into pro number 1. Pro number 1 is going to be the simplicity on loading this thing, all right? Because this thing is very reminiscent of an AK, it's super easy to get those shells in that mag and get that mag loaded. So you can easily buy multiple magazines, preload those magazines, and you can get shots downrange, shots on target rapidly with rapid reloads, man. All right, it's got that same rocker type insertion inside the mag well, which you rock in and you lock, rock and lock, and this thing is ready to go. All right, another pro about this thing is I love the control setup, okay? Because this is super familiar to an AK, everything is exactly the same. Safety, the charging handle, that front and rear sight, the magazine release, the trigger pull, it's all the same as an AK. So this makes this thing super user friendly and easy to use, easy to transition from that rifle platform into this shotgun platform without missing a beat, okay? Pro number 3 is going to be this railing system up top. All right, I love the railing system up top because this allows you to be able to put whatever kind of optic you want to run on top of this thing. Okay, so as you can see, I'm running a low profile red dot up here, but if you want, you can put a scope, and I mean, the sky's the limit on what you want to do. You can even put some flip up sights up here if that's what you wanted to do. Let's get into pro number 4. Pro number 4 is going to be this gas adjustment knob here. I love that on this platform because it allows you, when running anywhere between birdshot to slugs, you can adjust that gas, which ultimately adjusts the cycling and reliability of it, ensuring that you are preserving the gun while still putting the right amount of gas to be able to cycle this thing appropriately, as well as managing recoil, man. Managing recoil, and that's going to be big when you're shooting a 12 gauge shotgun and bouncing back and forth between rounds, okay? All right, so those are my pros for this platform here. Now, a con that I have with this thing is this thing weighs 7,000 pounds. This thing is heavy as hell, man, okay? Because it's so heavy, you can experience a level of fatigue when holding this thing up for long duration at a time. Say you're running mag after mag after mag, you're doing a lot of running, a lot of different target acquisition drills where you're going from target to target, slinging this thing around. You're definitely gonna feel the weight of this thing, especially when it's fully loaded and you're playing around with the different capacities of this thing, from 10 rounds to the drums. You're gonna feel the weight of this thing, okay? And because of that, that's a heavy con for me. Like I said, this one was super light, which I love about this thing because you can literally toss this thing around and feel little to no fatigue at all. While this one, man, you're gonna definitely get your workout in, man. Unless y'all are Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get down.
So to close out this video, what would be my choice if I had to roll with one platform of semi-auto shotgun? What would I choose, okay? And with that being said, I would go with an AR or AK platform semi-auto shotgun.
I take that.
All right, here's why. Simply because of the loading of this thing, okay? The reloads. It takes far longer to load shell after shell after shell in a heat of a situation where you're exchanging fire than it is to run with a mag-fed AK or AR style platform shotgun, okay? You're able to preload these mags. You can run multiple mags on a chest rig or any type of ammo bag, and you're able to rock mags into this thing quickly, whether you're running an AR or AK platform. And then with the semi-auto, you're able to put those shots downrange quickly. And for that, I would think in a combat situation, self-defense situation, I would want that option over the shotgun just being light. All right, Fresh fam, so that's going to wrap up today's video, man. Listen, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope for you all who are thinking about either getting one of these platforms right here or just a semi-auto shotgun, period, I hope this video was useful for you all. So don't hesitate to give this thing a thumbs up, man. That'll help out this video a lot. And until my folks that's just stopping by, man, consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. And come join the Fresh fam, man. But look, until the next video, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. All right, y'all. Peace.